Hello there, fellow Grognards. It's Al here. Quick video. I didn't plan on doing this, but then I just saw a starter set online, and I was like, man, that's a pretty good deal, you know? That's not bad. And it's a game I'd not really looked into for a long time now. It's been around for a while, but I've not looked into it. And I went on the page, had a look, and I was like, okay, yeah, 3 rules. Like, the units are still fairly expensive, but you've got these starter deals. And yeah, I thought this was all right. So, without further ado, the game that I am talking about is Star Wars Legion. Originally, this was with Fantasy Flight Games. I remember this being out when I was working at Wayland, and that's like, Christ, 6 years ago now. And I always looked at it and I was like, okay, yeah, it looks all right. The models they're okay. It was like in a 2-player starter set. Galactic Empire versus Rebels, and then you had a Separatist versus Republic as well. And I looked at it, I looked into the rules and everything. I was like, yeah, look, the rules look kind of cool too, but just never really got into it. Just another game system. But as I said, just recently I looked and saw this 1-player starter set, and I was like, wow, that's... When I did my 13 Grognard things I would do to make 40k better, that was kind of what I was talking about. A cheap buy-in option that's not quite as expensive as a combat patrol and gives you a load more stuff, an actual proper sort of starting army. And then I saw the rules online and everything, and I was like, you know what, let's do a video. Let's do a video on this. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a look at Star Wars Legion. I was having a look on the website and I was like, that's quite a lot of starter stuff there, you know. This is the Rebel Alliance. We'll have a closer look in a minute. But as you can see, you've got Luke, and you've got like, what, 24 dudes? Then like a little scout unit, a Wookiee unit, and then everything you need to play the game. And I was like, okay, that's not bad. And I saw these customizable models, and I was like, that's pretty sweet. Because these are new. You couldn't get these before, these starter models and stuff. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. No idea why the mouse cursor isn't showing up. Never mind. And yeah, so I've grabbed a few pages and I downloaded the rules because they're free, and we're just going to have a quick look at it. So here we go. So this is the Separatist Alliance starter set. Now, these are $99, and normally that means by the time they get over to the UK, they're like 99 quid. They're a bit cheaper than that recommended retail. I think they're around about £85 recommended retail, but I've managed to find them as cheap as 66. General order, 66. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good buy-in. I really do. I think after the price rise, Combat Patrol is going to be £105. You knock 20% off that from a discounter. You're looking at £85. This is £20 cheaper, and you get a load more. So here you've got 10. Is that 10 or 9? It's 9 for some reason. One must be a leader unit, or it's the picture's wrong, of the larger battle droids. Then you've got a crap load, I can't be asked to count all those, of the smaller battle droids, Grievous, and then 2 droidicas. And again, you get all your tokens, you get your measuring bits, your dice, and your unit cards. It's all in there. And I thought, you know, that's not bad. That's not a bad buy-in. Wouldn't be my choice of starter, but that's not bad. Here's your Galactic Empire one. Vader, a crap load of stormtroopers, both scout armour and normal trooper armour. And again, I mean, I would think this is enough to get on the board and start playing. So if you know somebody who's already playing, be like, oh, I don't really want to pick up a 2-player starter set because I need to try and get rid of the other half. Bang, here you go. And I'm fairly sure that if you get this and then just, you know, you can just add on maybe another unit or two and a Walker, not an AT-AT sadly, I don't think they make that, but like a AT-ST or something like that, and you're away. So yeah, everything's in there. Looks really cool. I like the look of the Rebels. So you've got Luke, as I said, a scout or recon unit, some Wookiees, and then all these models. And these models do seem to have improved since I last looked. Now obviously the Star Wars license isn't cheap, so these aren't cheap, and no, they are smaller than GW models, but yeah, as a proposition, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I'd pay 66 quid for that. Hell, I'm half tempted. I don't even play the bloody game. I remember when Legion first came out, and I've got everything for Imperial Assault, and I mean everything. Every single thing that was released for Imperial Assault I've got, and I was like, I could just use those. Yeah, it didn't turn out that way. But yeah, again, I'd pay that. And here, Kenobi, I don't want to say that's Mace Windu, I mean, it's somebody else. And then a load of clone troopers, you know, roughly equivalent to all the others. Yeah, good deal. I mean, that's you know, 2 of them and the rule book, and I reckon you've got to be on your way to having enough for a decent game, unlike something like Combat Patrol that forces you into certain things, and sometimes you can't use all of your models, especially if you get the Custodes, and, you know, this is the actual game. So here's some of those customizable models that I was talking about. So as you can see, like different heads and stuff. Not massively customizable, but enough to make your, you know, make it a bit different. And I like that. I think that's pretty cool. They're about 25 quid if I remember correctly. And the other thing I really liked about this is when it says Legion rules and organised play, it's not just the core rules. And we're going to have a look at that in a minute because I have downloaded that. But you've also got all of the battle forces in the errata, all in one. It's all been compiled into one. Recon rules, so like a smaller, lighter game, free. Dangerous environments, free. Special operations, free. Competitive rules, free. All free. Look at all this. Updated battle cards, no codexes, no books. Just like I said in my video, all rules free. Even the command cards, you can buy them. If you want them free, here you go. Absolutely everything. And that is the way to do it. Making people buy books that are immediately out of date is bullshit. So yeah, I thought that was great. I really did. I really did. I thought, oh, that's you know, fair play. That is the way that a war game should be run, in my opinion. So let's have a quick look at the rules. So yeah, I've downloaded these. Not had a good look through them yet. I mean, we're not going to get into the mechanics of the game. You can find other videos on how to play Star Wars Legion. But I just wanted to take a look at the rulebook itself and just say that, you know, this isn't some sort of little pamphlet, like a throwaway pamphlet. Just, you know, this is the actual full rules for the game. And it's basically, it revolves around command cards, and it's alternate activation, obviously, because that's the only game system that makes sense. From what I looked into it when it first came out, I watched some Depticon videos and stuff like that, and I liked the look of the system. I was like, yeah, this looks cool. This looks cool. I mean, it even carried over quite a few of the mechanics from Imperial Assault, like surge results and things like that. So I was like, yeah, it looks like a cool game. But it's all here, all colour. Breaks down exactly what to do. Keywords, because keywords are good. What all your different tokens do. And unlike GW, it doesn't look to be horrific word salad. Now, obviously, the Star Wars IP has lost a lot of its allure recently, and I think that might be responsible for the slight sort of cheapening of some units. It doesn't seem to have got cheaper overall, but maybe that's, you know, partly responsible for that they've redone it. You'll notice that there is no sequel starter set. I do apologise, but yeah, it's not really surprising, is it? Let's be honest. So yeah, there's your setup. It's the full rules. It's like what? Let's have a look. So 63 pages? 63 pages of rules. Yep, 63 pages. Oh, look at that. They've even got a change log at the end of it. Bravo, Atomic Mass Games. Bravo. That's great. Keyword breakdown at the back. There you go, weapon keywords. That's brilliant, that is, isn't it? Look. That is the way you should make them. Breakdowns of the different phases. Love it. Absolutely love it. Brilliant. Look at that. All the rules. I won't look at the Battle Forces rules today because I will get carried away and just end up ordering something. There's nice artwork in here as well, actually, I have to say. And it looks, I mean, the layout's really nice. I mean, look at this, in Arabesh. Is it Orbesh? That's a nice touch. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. Right, so let's have a look at some prices. So, cheapest I found was Chaos Cards. It's not ridiculously cheap. It's not what I would call ridiculously expensive. It works out a bit cheaper than GW, and you would expect that because they are smaller models. That Star Wars license, as I said, that does cost money. You know, if you look at like Star Wars Lego, for example, in comparison to normal Lego kits, it's a lot more expensive. You know, obviously these are the card packs that, you know, you could just download, but as I said, there are options to buy them here if you want. So I've opened up just a few things to look at. So this one was Clone Trooper Marksman. So it's 11 models, as I say, 50 quid. Yeah, not cheap. Down to £41 here. The core units, I don't think I can say are cheap. I really don't. I mean, that is, yeah, pretty much GW pricing, in all honesty. But the starter set was the thing that made me go, ooh, you know, that's pretty good. These crab droids look pretty cool. I was like, yeah, they look awesome. Yeah, again, not on the cheap side of things. Once you've got that starter set out of the way, this is what I mean. I think this is what I thought made it just not quite work the first time round. Was just some of those prices just, you know, I presume it is just the license, were just a little bit on the hefty side. But these starter sets, I don't think I can say that's bad value. I really don't. I think that's a hell of a lot of stuff for your 66 quid. Let's have a quick look. So you've got, I don't think it gives you a breakdown, sadly. No, it doesn't. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. So 37 models, 66 quid. It's less than £2 a model. You're doing better than GW. And obviously you've got your ancillary stuff in there. Let's open that a bit bigger. And they're nice models. I mean, as I say, these are a bit better than the ones that they used to have. They have improved as each edition. I mean, I think this is maybe the 3rd edition of Star Wars Legion now. I'm not sure. The Republic. I mean, I thought the prequels were made to look better by the sequels, but I still prefer, you know, Galactic Civil War era. But again, that's just quite a lot of stuff. You look at what you can get for 60 quid from GW, or 66, let's be honest, 66. It's not abundant, it's not a great deal. And even at recommended retail price, this is 20 quid cheaper than a Combat Patrol. And a Combat Patrol doesn't look like that. You know, the amount of stuff you get, it doesn't look like that. Combat Patrols, you know, they're like 18 models, 15 models. I think the new Dark Elder one is. Actually, no, I think the new Dark Elder one's 13 models. Because it's a Homunculus, Talos, Kronos, and 2 5-man units of Rax. So 13 models, as opposed to, you know, there's your Rebel Alliance one. As opposed to that, I mean, that's 13 models there. Believe it or not. I know the Talos and the Kronos are bigger models, but I think these just represent better value all over. I really do. As I say, these customisable Jedi Knights, you're at 25, so 30 quid recommended retail. That's roughly what the plastic single characters are coming in for GW. These are £25 for 2. Again, they're a bit smaller. I think these are like between 28 and 30 mil, but they still look perfectly detailed. They still look perfectly nice. Recreations of Star Wars stuff. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think that's a problem at all. But yeah, I've got to admit, I was half, I really was half tempted. I was like, I pulled the trigger on this one. No, must not. But yeah, there's a Galactic starter set. All looks good, man. I never got around to painting all of my Imperial Assault I painted a lot of it, but not all of it. There's just one more thing I did want to show you real quick. Again, 60 quid normally, not super cheap, but down to £45. 5 characters. 2 versions of Luke for some reason. But I'm fairly sure, like, if you were competent enough with a scalpel, you could probably take the customizable bits and convert the second Luke into something or something like that. Obviously, it's for different eras of Luke. This is Jedi Knight, and this is earlier on. But I was like, yeah, 50 quid, and you get all 5 characters. 5 characters from GW is going to cost you double that. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. And yeah, that's it really, guys. I mean, so anyway, I like doing these Where Next to Conquer series. I like offering alternatives to 40k from time to time, because as much as we all love the universe of 40k, there are other alternatives out there. And yeah, I think that starter's pretty good. Pretty good. So, just a quick video. You let me know what you think down below, guys. And I'll catch you in the next one soon. Bye.